Hello, Barmy Badger Army.
Hey, Badger Army!
Welcome to today's show. Today
Don't forget your mask.
we're going to be talking about Notorious B.I.G.'s crown fetching at, what was it, Nick?
$600,000.
$600,000. A man recently from Manchester wearing a snake for a COVID-19 mask, and of course our thoughts on Eat Out to Help Out, because I don't think we've done that yet. Right, let's start off with Notorious B.I.G.
Notorious B.I.G, aka Biggie Smalls, aka Christopher Wallace.
There you go.
Now, a lot of people might not remember this. We're at a stage now where this was actually before a few people's time. Notorious B.I.G.
During the war.
was a famous rapper in the 90s. He was tragically shot dead in 1997.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Go on. That was quite... I was 7 then. No, I was 17.
Yeah. So, but his album, which was he's had a few posthumous hits shortly after that. I think the best known one being Mo Money Mo Problems with Mace and P Diddy.
Of course, and of course Michael Jackson did that as well, didn't he? When he was, brought some in.
Few of that, yes. It was from an album of his which was called Life After Death, which was released shortly after he passed away.
Okay.
And now a plastic crown belonging to him has fetched $600,000.
I mean, that was one of the big things about him, wasn't it? It was that crown, wasn't it? That
I was
was very
forgetting about
iconic.
that. So I think it must have been from like a photo shoot.
Yeah.
That he did, and yeah, I suppose well, it goes to show.
These sorts of iconic things are worth a lot of money. Things like the Hard Rock Cafe and all that sort of thing. And of course, Planet Hollywood. They idolise all these sorts of things. And of course, big fans of these music industry items are fantastic. And I personally think that crown is like part of pop culture. When I think of Notorious B.I.G., I think of him with that crown. And to be honest with you, I didn't know it wasn't gold. I thought it was a gold crown, which is a real
you wouldn't
shock.
put it past the average hip-hop star. They're the ones always showing off how much money and bling they have.
That's it, yeah. So I personally thought it was like worth a lot of money in itself, but in theory, it's just a cheap plastic prop.
But when it's attached to someone like Notorious B.I.G., rest his soul, it's then yes, it goes up in value. I was thinking maybe it was done by a crazed fan, but
No.
there we go.
It's mad, isn't it, to think it would go for that much. Nick, what would you have done in that auction, and what would your reaction have been if it went for that much?
Okay then.
Okay then, there you go. I would probably be a bit shocked, but not too shocked. It's part of music history, but it's things like that really weird, like jackets and things like that don't go.
Yeah, it's very much of that era. I mean, of course, it was a lot big. That whole hip hop scene was a lot bigger in the US than it was over here. We had pieces of it over here.
That's right.
And I think, and I suppose it just goes. It and it goes to show how influential that era still is.
Yeah, the 90s was big, wasn't it? Obviously, over here we had Spice Girls and things like that, but because we had quite the relaxed, poppy, sort of chilled, sort of over-the-top, hyper-excitable
Chilled
music
over the
set.
top.
You know what I mean? It was a mixture, wasn't it? It was a really weird mixture. And obviously in America, they had quite, over the, like, rap and stuff like that, and we didn't really have that yet,
I suppose
did
the
we?
trouble, I think, hip hop, it was very influential style of music and very big at the time. Unfortunately, a lot of the big name rappers were connected a lot with, had a lot of sort of like criminal undertones with them and criminal connections.
That's right, yeah. So there was a lot of...
which may or may not have played a role in Biggie Smalls' passing. But,
may or may not have.
So yes, we're not here to speculate on that.
Indeed, or accumulate.
But yeah, it was. But yeah, it does go to show, it just goes to show that that's the impact that era still has.
Indeed, it's very interesting. So let me know, guys, if you are fans of B.I.G, would you, if you could, fork out that much money? Let us know in the comments. Right, Nick, let's talk about Eat Out to Help Out. And your opinion?
Well, I have taken advantage of it. I've been
So
to
have I, many times.
O'Neill's and
O'Neill's?
O'Neill's in Brentwood. Yes.
The Irish pub?
Yes, they were still running the promotion last week. I don't know if they're still running it now.
Okay.
But yeah, I went and had their. So yes, I had their mac and cheese and chicken.
Ooh,
and
okay.
their Moving Mountains burger. Which is
Okay.
really nice.
So you ate quite a lot then for you. You filled your boots then.
I prefer to call it taking advantage of the situation.
Of course.
Although part of me thinks it's interesting because you know apparently we're the generation that spends far too much on coffee and eating out and stuff, and now apparently we've got to go to all these. We're now going to all these restaurants. We need to go to all these restaurants to help keep them afloat.
I know, it's mad, isn't it? Would you suggest that was a good idea? I don't know. But then it's one of these things, isn't it? It's like you think it's popular, you think it's making loads of money, but apparently not.
Well, everything's half price. It's not really, is it?
No, it isn't. But did you know that the actual Eat Out to Help Out thing is actually near enough finished, and the businesses are actually carrying it on off their own accord
Some of
now?
them are, yes. Of course, originally it ran to the end of August.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when I was there, the last couple of times I've been at O'Neill's, it's still been going, and I think some others still have it running as well. So very interesting.
I didn't even know that O'Neill's was still a thing.
It is still a thing.
There you go. When I was away in Scotland, we went for a few Eat Out to Help Out meals, and I must admit they were really good value for money. Like, there was like 5 people's meals went for about £30. So I think if you can brave it, if there are special promotions going on, as long as you socially distance and are safe with masks, it is well worth a bargain, I think. What do you think, Nick?
I would say so, yes.
So please be careful while you're out and about, but it is well worth a bargain.
And while I'm sitting there contemplating, if I do lots of this, then you know the average government minister is going to be like, well, no wonder they can't find anything.
That is, of course, another different thing, isn't it? So on one hand,
And a bone of contention with it, you were saying.
and on one hand, you're told to diet, be careful, do all these things, exercise more, and then on the other hand, you're told to go out for a fried meal or an expensive dinner meal 3 nights a week.
Indeed. So
You can't win.
Yeah. So
1 minute.
Let's just hope that.
Jamie Oliver's telling you, you know what, guys? Eat healthy dinners. Don't watch telly. Sell your telly if you can't afford a TV, Jamie. Okay, I will. And then on the other hand, they're going, no, your child's eating too much crap at school. They can't have burgers anymore. They've got to have carrot sticks. And you know what? I'm going to look at your lunchbox with a fine-tooth comb, and if you send your child in with junk, you're going to end up in the paper mate. And then on the other hand, Eat Out to Help Out. Yeah, go for it. Fill your boots. Eat a burger. Eat a lasagna. Have a load of crap to eat 3 nights a week.
He has a point.
Thank you. And next, we're going to talk about the man in...
The man in, I think it's Swinton near Manchester.
Swinton in Manchester.
Near Manchester.
Who used a real snake for a COVID-19 mask.
And a spectator was saying, I noticed there was something unusual about his mask. I think they probably just thought it was another of these weird coloured ones. I mean, there are lots of designer masks. I mean, these are a bit dull looking.
That's a designer mask, isn't it, Nick?
Oh yeah. So you know, you get them in all sorts of funky designs now.
That's right.
Indeed, I've always
and
been
of
a fan
course,
of light blue, and you can get. And so yes, there's one guy who was seen wearing a snake around his face.
do
And
you
someone
think that's
noticed it
very
was
sanitary,
moving.
Nicholas?
No.
No. And also, so how the heck did you think that was safe? Number one, there's several safety concerns. Yeah, you might not catch COVID, but you might die of strangulation.
After all, that is how a lot of snakes survive,
Yeah.
by
So,
doing things like that to their
can you
prey.
imagine if he was wearing it as a mask on the bus, got strangulated, and then the snake started to eat him whole?
Do you reckon it's probably trained in just like being still?
Or
I mean,
maybe, I don't know if he
probably
would grab
his
a
snake.
wild python and shove it round his neck.
I mean, you can't get many of those kind of like in the UK anyway. But,
Can't you? There's one over there. But yes, I have seen some certain eccentric things, like I've seen people dressed up as Gandalf on the bus with masks on and tapping it like that with the oyster or whatever, so they don't need to use human contact and things like that.
Well, you know, going all out.
I've seen people in old-fashioned sort of plague-ridden, plague doctor masks, with a big nose. I've seen things like that happen. We've heard of reports of people in Zorbs, where they've gone to Tesco's in a massive bubble.
They wouldn't get through. Did they manage to get through the doorway?
Maybe the security guard decided to burst their bubble, Nick.
In every possible sense.
Indeed. So yes, would you wear a snake as a mask, Nicholas? Would you think that was a good idea? And
No.
the fact that it was a large python as well, I think that was a bit overestimated, wasn't it? Maybe a small grass snake would have been all right.
Did he suddenly realise that he got... I mean, that actually happened to me today. I walked out the house and I was suddenly looking in my bag thinking, oh my goodness, did I actually remember my mask? Mercifully, I had. Maybe he was in that position where he hadn't, but he randomly had his snake with him. It was just like, oh, I'll just put this on.
Why would you...
I'm not saying I agree with that idea.
Oh no, I've forgotten my mask.
You
But
know, maybe
accidentally I have my pet python in my
maybe in the
bag.
heat of the
So let's
moment.
go for it.
You can
I
put it
don't
past
really
some people.
understand why that would happen. Why would you go, oh no, I've forgotten my mask. Let me just shove my python round my nose. At least if it was a grass snake, you could dangle it across and you could double it as a little mustachio. What do you think, Nicholas? Would you wear a grass snake as a moustache?
No.
No. Would you honestly think that was a good idea? Definitely not. Guys, let us know the most eccentric masks you've seen. Have you seen any random things that people have, obviously cosplayed or done for giggles? Have you seen someone dress up as Pyramid Head in the middle of the road at 6 a.m?
Someone's going to claim they have.
I know, I've seen pictures. I've seen pictures. So I'm like, what's this about? Where is this going? Is the world getting more eccentric? Are people enjoying the fact that the random stuff's going on? I know I am in some ways. Would you think that this was a very sanitary thing to do?
On the same bus as us.
Did they wipe down their snake after using it? I should have. I hope they sprayed and alcohol gelled their snake.
I'm sure their snake would have appreciated that. Not.
Thanks very much for watching, guys. Let us know your thoughts on today's topics. Would you pay 600,000 billion trillion for Biggie's plastic crappy Burger King rip-off crown? Would you eat out to help out? And what's the most eccentric thing you've seen whilst out and about in COVID land?
Bring on the comments.
Bring on the comments. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. Bye! Don't forget to wear a mask, or at least be safe. Bye!